Bakovic coming in quick, makes the incredible diving catch. My goodness, Bakovic.
Germani trying to get there, goes back, and did he make another one? Holy guacamole, what a catch there.
Get to the basket, passes it to Cortez, Cortez up, and one. That is exactly what I'm talking about.
Are you ready for some Roadrunner sports? Well, you're in the right place as we bring you the Roadrunner Review, the 30-minute magazine show that features MSU Denver sports and their highlights from the past month. I'm Sean Tafoya, and joining me to form this dynamic duo is Celeste Zubia. Celeste, what do we have on the show today?
Well, we're going to have plenty of basketball highlights as both our men's and women's team are in a race for the RMAC, and with spring just around the corner, we got the audience ready for softball and baseball season with our season preview stories. And of course, we bring you the best of the best in our top place segment.
Wait. The best of the best. Are you sure?
Sean, would this pretty face lie to you?
Well, I mean, you got me there. Well, on Celeste's honesty, let's get the show rolling. But before we get to some hardwood highlights, let's bring in Juan Arellano, who has all of the latest Roadrunners news. So Juan, does Celeste have a face the audience should trust?
Well, Sean, sometimes the happiest people with the biggest smiles sometimes are the best actors.
What does that even mean, Juan?
You know what it means, Celeste. So on that note, let's bring the audience all the news. First, we unveiled the MSU Denver Hall of Fame class of 2017. We want to congratulate the 1993 volleyball team, men's track and field and cross-country stars Charlie Blue Black and John Lees, Kira Sharp from the women's soccer, and of course the man who has been the biggest athletic supporters for the last 12 years, and that's President Stephen Jordan. The ceremony will take place on February 17, and we'll have more on the inductees on next month's show. Our final piece of news comes from the tennis world as the RMAC came out with its preseason polls. Men's senior Josh Grates was selected as the RMAC's Men's Tennis Player of the Year. The Albury, Australian native had a fantastic 2016, going 9-2 in singles play and 6-2 in doubles. Joining Grates on the All-RMAC preseason team was sophomore Joey Cherney. The men's team was voted to finish in tie for first place with CSU Pueblo. The women were picked to finish second in the RMAC with juniors Emily Kerr and Courtney Wright earning spots in the preseason team. We want to wish head coach Daniel Hungstifer and his squad the best of luck in 2017 as their season gets underway in February. That's all I have for you guys. Let's get into some men's basketball.
Thanks, Juan, and let's do what that man says. Head coach Derek Clark and his boys got off to a great start in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference and had a big month ahead of them as they look to keep pace with the RMAC's best.
That's right, Sean, and the conference is going to be tough this season. You know, we have Fort Lewis as well as Colorado Mines, and MSU Denver started off this month playing Colorado Mesa here at home.
MSU Denver taking on Mesa. Let's kick it off. First half, Peter Mueller with the quick elbow J for 2 points. Now, how about some defense? Mesa working it up. Dish off, but someone forgot the stuffing. Big boo, big block. Back up the floor, it's going inside for Kabir West. This time he beats Boo, gets the contact, and one. But let's back up the stuffing. Speaking of which, we're having a block party. Offer driving through the lane, and it's Cortez doing big man work. Let's continue this shindig in the second half. Corner 3 for Colorado Mesa, but look out. Andre Harris comes rolling in. Metro would win this shootout 98-89.
MSU Denver took on Fort Lewis, the 20th ranked team in the nation and #1 team in the RMAC. The game started out close as both teams went back and forth in scoring in almost every possession. Sunday Detch would add some momentum to the Roadrunner offense with 2 back-to-back big-time threes. He finished the night with 18 points and 8 rebounds. And then Andre Harris with the putback dunk. MSU Denver was leading the Skyhawks by 3 at halftime. Joshua Blaylock brings his team up with 2 quick threes. He had 21 points and 5 rebounds on the night. Then a steal, dribble, and layup from Enrique Cortez. Then the Roadrunners offense remains hot for the rest of the game, and MSU Denver defeats Fort Lewis 80-65.
So you guys just held the 20th ranked team in the nation to 65 points. Had a really stuffing defensive effort in the second half. What was working defensively for you tonight?
I mean, just like what I said, we've been working out defense almost all week. I think so. We prepared this game very well. It's what helped us really.
Was this like a statement or a signature win for you guys this year against Fort Lewis?
No, we're just like trying to play hard against everyone. I mean, it's not about Fort Lewis or another team. We're just trying to compete every game.
MSU Denver returns after an extended road trip looking to pick up a huge home win. First half, Andre Harris off the dribble from the elbow, and it's in. Later in the half, dishes it inside, and it's Harris with the huge block, the stare down. Block of the year? Maybe so. Let's fast forward this one back and forth late in the second half. It's Jerry and Peyton going up, getting the contact and the bucket. Now, we usually don't show free throws as highlights, but when your team is down 2 with seconds to go, they're usually clutch. And Alec Williams is as well, as he nails down both of them. We head to OT. Goodman down low on Harris with the one hand, puts his team up late. Seconds to go now in the OT period. Metro down 2, sound familiar? Who else but Alec, top of the key, ice in the veins, knocks it down, and it's into double OT we go. Evans on the wing, and he knocks it down. Mueller looking to respond, but it's Evans with the block from behind. MSU Denver would fall in a double OT thriller, 87-76.
So after January, the men's basketball team currently sits in the 5th spot of the RMAC standings, and they will have every chance to gain a top seed in the RMAC tournament with games against Regis, UC Colorado Springs, and of course, the mighty Orediggers from Colorado Mines.
Yeah, so it should be a fun ride as the playoffs eke ever closer for Coach Clark and his squad, but we're just getting started here on the Roadrunner Review. The softball team has all the pieces to make another great run in the RMAC tournament, and our own Celeste Zubia tells you how later in the show. But coming up next, women's basketball lost a key part of their team last month to an injury, but the team has rallied together to bring this team back into the RMAC playoff race. We'll bring you all the highlights up next, so don't go anywhere.
Shelly tried to find Gubler, but the ball is stolen by Smith. She's going to take it all the way and lays it off for Whitworth. Whitworth with the bucket.
Welcome back to the Rotary Review, and we stick with some hoops now as we get into some women's basketball. Head coach Tanya Halve was dealt a huge blow when Emily Hardigan went down with an injury, but it seemed to really bring the group together as the team really started to hit their stride.
Yeah, and a big part of this team's success has been sophomore sensation Jaylyn Smith, who has picked up her game by carrying the scoring load on her shoulders. Jaylyn and her squad kicked off the month with the home game against Colorado Mesa. The Mavericks came down to the Auraria Event Center to play the women's basketball team in a classic RMAC showdown. Georgia Ordorf gets things started, making her way down low for a layup, and Jaylyn Smith continues the rhythm with a three-point play. Count that one and head to the free throw line, girl. Nothing is stopping these girls offensively, but Colorado Mesa responds before heading into halftime. Brianna Adams continues to attack the basket. She finished the night with 22 points and 5 rebounds. Ordorf comes back aggressive after halftime. She had 21 points and 4 rebounds on the night. And another and one for Smith. Roadrunners pull the upset and beat the Mavericks 67-57.
Women hosting the Adams State Grizzlies, check it out. Georgia reading the pass, gets a tip on it, and goes coast to coast for the bucket. Ordorf would finish this one with 19. Grizzlies losing the handle, and then Smith with some nice handles, gets it up, and how about Janae Payne for 2? She went 6 for 8, 13 on the night. And now a nice lob pass into double coverage. Smith finds Wellington, who finishes it in traffic. Now, shot of the year for me, McClary, cross court. How about Rocky Torres, 4-3, yes! Her very first bucket in a Roadrunners uniform. MSU Denver cruise to an 80-38 victory.
I have to say it's great, and it was just the energy we needed. I mean, we have 5 games on the road, and that was just, I know everyone got in, everyone got, you know, our confidence is up, and I mean, we needed that win more than I think we did need it. And now that we have it, we realize that it was a big win. it was a big win for us for sure.
It was. I mean, and we need to have that every night. And we talked about that. It's like the energy, speeding them up and defending, and we had that last night for a lot part of the game, but we need to have that all the time. So, but the danger of this game is you can let Fort Lewis beat you twice. We didn't let Fort Lewis beat us twice. So I'm really happy with the way we bounced back.
MSU Denver was looking to get their 3rd straight win as they took on Westminster at home. Luisa Tago and Janae Squires-Horton sink it from downtown. Georgia Ordorf dominates from down low, and then the other Janae, Payne that is, makes it look easy from the 3-point line. Jalen Smith looks like she's going to take it all the way, but the last-minute pass turns into a quick 2 points for the Roadrunners. Tago with another 3. She had a career-high 12 points on the night. Griffin's attempt to come back late in the game, but it isn't enough. The Roadrunners take their 3rd straight win, 67-58.
And one more highlight for you folks. The Roadrunners traveled to Colorado Springs, took on UCCS, and it was Smith with the game-winning shot. Let's get that clip.
Sean, how great was it to see that game-winning shot? Jalen Smith is a sophomore. She has the confidence to go under time and pressure. I loved it. I loved it.
She's so young, and she's already hitting those clutch shots, especially on the road against UCCS, who they haven't lost there in what seems like an eternity.
Yeah, and Metro hasn't beat them at their place in like 4 years.
Yeah, so she has a huge couple years ahead of her for this Roadrunner squad. So after another successful month for those Roadrunners, they're now 6th in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference standings and have their sights set on grabbing a playoff spot for the first time in 3 seasons. So make sure you keep up with both the men's and women's basketball teams as they wrap up their regular seasons at roadrunnersathletics.com. Get to know our highly touted softball team up next as we bring you the softball season preview.
Some students come to Metropolitan State University of Denver to find their future. Others look to sharpen their current skills. In the case of David Thibodeau, it was both. Our faculty helped fuel his entrepreneurial spirit while encouraging him to pursue his personal passions. These 2 talents came together in Ska Brewing Company, which he co-founded in 1998 in Durango and is considered one of the top up-and-coming Colorado companies.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I pledge.
To identify situations in which sexual assault may occur.
To recognize that non-consensual sex is sexual assault.
I pledge.
I pledge. To create an environment in which sexual assault is unacceptable and survivors are supported.
To intervene in situations where consent has not or cannot be given.
Thanks for coming back, and now we gear up for that brand new softball season. And Celeste, this group of girls might be the most talented team that Coach Annie Van Wetsinga has had since her time here, and you're talking about a team that's already won 2 conference titles.
That is some pretty high praise, Sean, and you know this team has everything a conference contender should have. Great pitching, experienced hitters, and a coach that has been there before. But if you don't believe me, let's hear it from the team themselves. Each step the MSU Denver softball team takes is one step closer to reaching their next goal. In the last 3 seasons, head coach Annie Van Wetsinga has led the Roadrunners to a regular season championship and to 2 RMAC tournament championships. So what is the next step for this program?
We want to win the regular season conference championship and the conference tournament. This year we want to do both in the same year.
But how do they get there? Experience is one way, and they have 13 returners from a team that played in the Big Dance last year.
I think so far we've taken all the right steps. We have a team really dedicated to working hard at practice, in the weight room, in the off season. Practices are really intense, and we really set ourselves up for game time situations.
Bringing back an all-conference pitcher is a big step in the right direction toward winning the regular season and the RMAC championship.
We talk about how defense but it starts with pitching, and I think that the most important job of being a pitcher is keeping your team in the game and holding yourself accountable to help your other teammates to be successful.
And no one makes up more steps than co-defensive player of the year, center fielder Kalissa Bakovic. Defense, as the cliche goes, wins championships.
I take it really seriously and also just remember to have fun out there. You know, I want to work hard for my teammates and especially my pitchers because they're up there every pitch giving it their all.
This softball team's goal is to not only win the RMAC championship, but the regular season as well. They just have to take it one swing at a time, one catch at a time, and one step at a time.
Thanks, Celeste. The RMAC came out with their preseason polls, and the coaches voted that our Roadrunners would finish second overall behind Colorado Mesa. Last season, the Roadrunners finished with a 25-9 RMAC record, winning the RMAC tournament title in Grand Junction. Cassie Smith was named to the All-RMAC preseason team. The senior sported an impressive 3.86 ERA from the circle and a 3.38 batting average at the plate in her junior year. So you know she's ready to go out with a bang in her final season.
I'm very excited, especially because it's my senior year, just to start everything and just finish strong. It starts with practice, I think, like working hard, especially these last couple of weeks. We've been working really hard, just like doing the little things right, just getting game ready. Like we play like scrimmages and like live situations a lot, and I think that helps. We talk about how defense but it starts with pitching, and I think that the most important job of being a pitcher is keeping your team in the game and holding yourself accountable to help your other teammates to be successful. Personally, I think by the end, I just want to look back and say I gave it everything I had, and I worked as hard as I could for my teammates and for myself, and just to look back and just have a good feeling that I worked hard that season.
So, Sean, the expectations for the softball team are pretty high, but I think that Coach Annie Van Wetsinga and her squad are so experienced, having been there so many times before. The expectations will just bounce off of them like bullets off of Superman.
Yeah, we'll have to see, and stay tuned on next month's show, and we'll bring you all the highlights from the Wonder Women that are our softball team. And you can watch MSU Denver softball on Stretch Internet all season long. So find the video links at roadrunnersathletics.com. We preview the baseball season next up on the show.
The 0-2 to Nelson, and he will slash this one the other way for a base hit. And that will bring Donaldson home, an RBI single on 0-2 for Dylan Nelson.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Thanks for sticking around with us here on the Roadrunner Review. Let's get into the boys of spring who are geared up for the regular season to start.
Head coach Jared Otis begins his 6th season with the red and blue, and he will do so without his stellar star, Julian Garcia, who continues to do great things for the Philadelphia Phillies organization.
But Celeste, have no fear. The power of the bats should be plentiful in 2017, and it will hold things over until that pitching staff comes around just in time for playoffs. Let's take a look at this season's baseball squad.
The calendar turns to February, and that means the MSU Denver baseball season is close. And after months of practice, the team is ecstatic to get underway.
I'm so eager. I mean, it's unbelievable playing against you guys every day, but playing against another team in this dugout, it's hard to beat that feeling.
It's that time of the year. It's time to put somebody in the first base dugout and get a game going.
This team, led by head coach Jared Otis, looks to make a trip to the RMAC tournament. And with all the power they have in their lineup, they know that they can swing it with the best teams in the RMAC.
Back-to-back, 1 through 9, we're ready and we'll do whatever we need to get the job done. Everyone's willing to sacrifice for the person in front of them or after them.
Like you said, we have power top to bottom, and we have the guys that can execute and get the job done when we need to get done.
The pitching staff turnover is a question mark, of course, but they feel they have the personnel and depth to get the job accomplished.
We got a bunch of guys that are eager. Like, it's not set in stone yet. Like last year, we kind of had Julian. He was our dominant guy, and he was a stud every time he got on the mound. This year, it's kind of like everybody's fighting to be that guy.
Last year, we had kind of towards the end, we had 10 healthy arms to go all weekend. So now we have a lot more. We got more versatility. Guys that can go more the distance.
But this team is simply that, a team. And if you had to remember them by 2 words, it would be their team motto, as one.
I think as one means just as basically is what I'm saying is as one. We want to do everything as a group, whether you're doing ground balls for yourself to make myself better. I'm actually doing it for the pitchers. I'm doing it for the second baseman. I'm doing it for every guy on the team.
It just means you come together as a group, like everyone has their parts and they all put it together, and it truly is as one. Like we're a team, everyone's doing everything they can to make us better as a whole.
To everything, you know, we do everything as one. We win together, we lose together, work out together, practice together. Everything is just as one, and we're only as strong as our weakest link.
This team is picked to finish 4th in the RMAC, and they're about to embark on a season-long journey, a challenge they will face as one. For the Roadrunner Review, Sean Tafoya.
You know, Sean, you mentioned that this team was picked to finish 4th in the RMAC, but what kind of surprised me was that not a single Roadrunner was selected to the preseason all-conference team. That might be all this squad needs, is a chip on their shoulder to prove all the doubters wrong.
Yeah, you know, it never hurts to have that little extra bit of motivation to get you back to the RMAC playoffs. And it was just 2 seasons ago that this squad was in the RMAC championship, so a lot of the team still has that sweet taste in their mouths already. Time for one more break, and we have some incredible plays that will make Celeste Pretty Face smile from ear to ear. You don't want to miss it. And it'll be Hoffer driving in the lane. Stuff! Big block by Enrique Cortez, sending it into the stands.
Metropolitan State University of Denver nurtures student aspiration and empowers lifelong success through personal attention and professional experience in an inclusive environment. Located in the heart of downtown Denver, the university offers broad access to a transformative undergraduate and graduate education on Colorado's most diverse college campus. And as a gateway to opportunity, MSU Denver advances the intellectual, social, cultural, and economic well-being of Denver and beyond.
Brought to you by your #1 volume Nissan dealer, Tynan's Nissan. Come in today and choose from nearly 1,200 new Nissans. Get 0% for 72 months with no payments for 90 days. During the Bottom Line event, lease the new Altima for only $149 per month. Gives you both efficiency and performance. Looking for an SUV? Then choose the all-wheel drive Rogue at just $159 per month. Also available with optional 3rd-row seats. Bottom Line savings at Tynan's Nissan in Aurora and Fort Collins.
Met Radio on mymetmedia.com.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Coming down the home stretch of this month's show, and before we get into those incredible plays from the past month, let's bring you some indoor track and field as they took part in the Colorado Mines Division 2 Classic in Golden.
Robert Carlson was fantastic in his 2 events. First, the sophomore finished 2nd in the triple jump, reaching a distance of 13.91 meters, and then Carlson went on to finish 5th in the long jump. Also having a great meet was freshman Alexis Papas, who crossed the line in the 4th spot in the 60-meter dash. She would also finish 7th in the 200-meter dash. Make sure to check out roadrunnersathletics.com for the full list of performances by our indoor track and field team.
All right, let's get into those top plays from the past month, and they are brought to you by the Regency. Play number 5 comes from women's basketball, and after 3 years of battling injuries and rarely seeing the court, senior guard Raquel Torres does something she hasn't done in her MSU Denver career. Our own Eric Lansing has the call.
236. So a big rebound game here for the Roadrunners. And there's Torres, 3-point shot up and
good. There it goes.
Raquel Torres, the trifecta. Her first field goal this year. And I don't know if I should call it, but it might be her first field goal in a Roadrunner uniform.
We're so excited for Raquel, who has worked hard in practice, has fought through the pain, and continues to be the best cheerleader of this women's basketball team. You gotta love the feel-good stories in sports, and this is one of them.
Men's hoops now, and we all know that Andre Harris is a block machine, and he had no bigger block than the one he had against Westminster at home. Dayon Goodman thinks he has an easy layup, and Harris thwarts that notion in a hurry. That is a monstrous block if I've ever seen one. What was Goodman thinking? Harris is 2nd in the RMAC in slots, and woo, Check out that stare down, that even scared me. Goodman and everyone else for that matter better think twice about bringing in the lane against Andre Harris.
Let's head back to the women in play number 3. Adams State loses the ball, Jalen Smith picks it up, and check out the crossover by the sophomore. That is just nasty. We have to check out the replay on that one. Smith sends the defender to her knees. I could watch this all day. Oh wait, there's more. Smith runs it up the court to find Janae Payne, who finishes it for the easy deuce. And stay tuned, we have more Jalen Smith to come.
More from the men's hardwood, and the Roadrunners found themselves in a dogfight with the Griffins from Westminster. Freshman Alec Williams hit 2 big free throws late in regulation to send his squad into overtime. But in the waning moments of the first overtime, it was Williams again who came up in a big-time moment.
We're at 10 seconds here at the shot. He's going to go up for it, and he makes it! He ties up the game with 7 seconds left. Alec Williams is clutch man of the hour. There's 4 seconds left. They need to be smart. Goodman's going to go up for it, and it gets swatted out, and we're going to go into double OT.
Unfortunately, the red and blue could not pick up the victory in the second overtime, but a star has been born, everyone. Alec Williams. This is just what the team needs as they head toward the RMAC tournament.
And the top play from this past month comes from Jalen Smith. She has broken out in her sophomore season, and she announced to the rest of the RMAC in her team's game against UC Colorado Springs on the road. It's a tie game, and with the clock ticking down, Smith dances around traffic in the paint and sinks the layup right as the buzzer sounds.
Whitwer passes over, swings the ball to number 4, Smith. Smith passes out for Whitwer. Whitwer back to Smith. Smith is driving to the basket there and gets a buzzer beater. Holy cow. That was just amazing timing from the MSU Denver Roadrunners, and being able to get to the basket at that time and drop, let the ball go and everything.
It gives her team the 56-54 upset win over UCCS, which ended a 13-game home winning streak for the Mountain Lions. So maybe we should start calling her J. Win Smith for her late game heroics. Those were the top plays from the past month, and as always, they were brought to you by the Regency.
J. Win Smith. I really like that nickname, guys.
Yeah, and as long as she keeps hitting those clutch shots and playing like she is, it really suits her.
I was just going to say it fits her just perfectly. So that's going to do it for this month's episode of the Roadrunner Review. Remember to check out roadrunnersathletics.com for everything you want and need to know about MSU Denver sports.
For Juan Arellano, Celeste Zubia, our fearless leader Eric Lansing, and the entire Roadrunner Review crew, I'm Tafoya. We'll see you next month for more high-flying Roadrunner action.